Hello, goddesses. How are you? I do hope you are all well and that you have been enjoying this beautiful summer-like weather when we're actually in spring. And what a beautiful full moon it has been. Since it was about a half moon, I've been able to see it most nights, just getting gradually bigger and bigger until the early hours of last night, this morning. It was full. I haven't seen it last night. It was a bit too cloudy here in Yorkshire. But last week I was in Wales and I was able to see it every night, clear as a bell, and it felt so close you could actually touch it. And when I tuned in, those clear skies and that full moon were a sign of starting to feel clarity about some of the more complex things in life. So if there's a situation or an issue or something that you've not necessarily been worried about but or puzzling over, but you've kind of been thinking, maybe I need to do something about this, but I'm not too sure. Maybe there's something different I would like to do. Maybe there's something new I'd like to try. The clarity now is coming with that, given the brightness of the moon and the clear skies. So expect to feel over this next moon cycle to the new moon a bit more clarity about things, and you may already have felt it in the past few days, but not necessarily put it down to the full moon. And as we know, there's also a lot going on in the world. I haven't seen the news. All I know is I'm staying in my lane, doing my bit, staying in the light, and keeping bright, and still meditating for peace, an end to conflict, equality, and just all good things in the world. So that's partly going to be our focus today. So for this moon cycle, I have Energy and Spirit Oracle. And this is the only one that I'm going to use. So in sense of, when I was feeling that sense of, there's clarity with this full moon because it's very bright and we're feeling the brightness within ourselves. And that brightness creates more simplicity and it cuts through the complex and the difficult things, or the things that we make difficult for ourselves. It's the simplicity of just one oracle for this reading. And I'm going to start shuffling now, and I'm just going to be very open and ask the universe, as a collective, what is it we need to know for this next part of the moon cycle? So I'm going to start with 3 messages. What do we need to know this moon cycle? Oh, okay, so the universe has a lot to say. So we've already got 2 messages from the first 2 came out together. Okay, so let's get started with this. Okay, so the first 2 that came out were these 2. So the first one is Beneath the Surface, Hidden Truths, Something Unknown. And it has the image of the iceberg. So you just see the tip of the iceberg above the sea, and you see the huge remainder of it below the sea. There's only about 10% of an iceberg that we actually see. The rest of it is actually underwater. So that's representing the something unknown and hidden truths. We've kind of like got a Christmas tree here. There's kind of light sparkling off this fir tree to the side, and the sky is, it's kind of a bit Northern Lights-ish. It's purple and mauves and lilacs. Oh, and we have a full moon. We can just see it with the writing there. And it's got these lights that are dancing a bit like the Northern Lights. So the hidden truth, something unknown, feels like something really lovely is going to be revealed. This doesn't feel like something deliberately or maliciously being hidden from us. And actually it feels like a personal revelation. It's something deep within us that has always been there, but perhaps we have denied it, we have neglected it, we have been scared of it, maybe like intuition or, channeling the universe. It's good fun, but it also can be scary when you first start. And something unknown, but all these lights and all these beautiful colours tell us it's going to be something personal to us and probably about our intuition. So we have the very blue colours of the ocean here related to the throat chakra. So it may be about something you've been wanting to say but have been holding back. And then these purples and lilacs colours are the reminds me of the crown chakra, that violet light that comes out. So it feels something perhaps you've been wanting to say for a while, and maybe something you've been wanting to say about intuition for a while. So that's beneath the surface. And with it came this beautiful one, achievement, completion and reward. I love this. So we have a man who looks like he's just been doing some running and he's gone through the red tape and it looks like he's won the race. Now there is something for me there that's a little bit patriarchy. We're not in a race. We're not in a race with, well, we're in the human race, but we're not in a race to compete against anyone. We're not competing against anyone at all, not even ourselves. We're staying in our own lane and doing our own thing. So if you have something that's been going on for a while and it just feels like it's never getting resolved, know it's going to come to completion and know there's going to be a reward for you. And these two are linked, aren't they? So beneath the surface and the achievement perhaps is that you finally say, oh, I've got the goosebumps on my left side. So it's about leaving the past behind as well. It's something that's happened in your past that you've never talked about, that you feel ready to talk about. And it's not something desperately awful. It feels like something more positive, but that you've kept to yourself. And there's a reward for saying it. And that reward could be people are coming forward and saying, I'm so glad you shared that. This is something that happened to me. But again, I want to emphasize it's not about something bad that happened. It's just about a way of being that perhaps you've been in denial about. You've kind of thought, oh, that's not for me. But the hidden truth is something unknown is revealed to you that it is. And the achievement really is about the acceptance of that. And it completes a cycle in your life. That's what the completion is. I'm seeing a circle. So I'm seeing a circle in these colours. It starts off blue and it goes into the purples. It's about completing a cycle in your life. So it could be about letting something go that you've been holding on to from the past, but we should explain the goosebumps on my left side from the past. It could be something that no longer serves you and you just say, no, I'm not doing this anymore. It could be a friendship. It could be an activity that you do that you just feel obliged to do because your friends do, but it's not something that you want to do any longer. So tune in, see what that is for you. So something is going to be revealed that liberates you, and it feels like the completion of a cycle, and you feel like the reward is very internal. It's not necessarily a monetary award or a materialistic reward. It's an inner reward of the feeling of peace, that you've been able to take the action you need to take based on what's been revealed to you. Then next we had connections, partnership, contracts and commitments. So this is interesting. So the connection, I'm asking, is it personal or professional or something else? And all three are jumping out at me, so it's going to be very different for each of us. So we can see two hands coming together. One hand is holding out some what look like green crystals. It could be an onyx, it could be an emerald. But the green chakra is the heart chakra, isn't it? So we've got all the chakra colours so far. So this is about a heart connection, and that doesn't mean it's a personal or intimate. It could still be a professional one, because with the work that we do, we are connecting with people's hearts to understand how they feel, to support and help them. And the contract and commitment, it kind of feels this might be like something short term. A short term contract is coming up. This is something that perhaps helps you over the revelation of this and the completion and the reward, that helps you embrace. I'm trying to think of the words and it's not coming, and I can picture what I want to say. Integrate, that's the word. Helps you integrate this into your being, helps you integrate this into your inner and higher self, and helps you move forward with peace, and that's ultimately the reward. So look out for some connections. This does not feel like a connection you already know. This feels like a new connection that's coming into your life this moon cycle. So look out for what's to come with that one. And then we have sensitivity and strength. And we've had this one in the past, the anvil, the feather above the anvil on top of the wood. and we have the fungi coming out of the tree. And there's all sorts of things going on here, isn't there? The feather is something very sensitive. The anvil is something very sensitive too, because it helps you shape and create something into a certain shape, and you have to be sensitive as to how you do that. Wood, we know wood is a very sensitive material here on Earth, and the fungi. So this is about symbiosis in some ways as well, isn't it? The fungi rely on the wood, because they can feed off the trees, they can feed off the things in the woods. They also send nutrients. They have a lot of threads that go underground like the trees for connection and communication. And this is tapping the forces within. Sensitivity and strength, tapping the forces within. So this is having the courage to go within. So that's lovely, because that ties up very nicely the messages that we've had. So hidden truth is something unknown that comes with the completion and the reward of inner peace. A partnership and contract, someone helps you integrate some of that into your way of being on a short-term basis, and it allows you to be in a stronger position. So the sensitivity and strength is you have the strength and the courage to be a more sensitive person in this world, which is what the world needs. It needs more of us to understand sensitivity and empathy and to have the courage to use it. And you're tapping the forces within, but it's like using a feather on an anvil. It's a very gentle tap, a very gentle tap. And tapping the forces within is taking you to your next cycle of intuition, because remember, this felt like a cycle coming to an end. And so what happens when one cycle ends? A new cycle starts. So tapping the forces within is going to take you either deeper to your higher self, to have a more meaningful conception of what you believe your higher self to be, and taking you to a deeper, more meaningful level of your intuition as well. But most importantly, about how you integrate more of that into your life. So I love this. So we have beneath the surface, hidden truths, something unknown. And we have achievement, completion and reward. And those came out together. We had connections, partnership, contracts and commitments. And we have sensitivity and strength, tapping the forces within. And as we continue on our intuitive journey, we have our development circle next Wednesday, the 16th at 7:30 p.m. And the focus for this moment in time, and until the universe tells me something different, is about creating our spiritual sanctuary. To be able to tap the forces within, to be able to complete cycles and become more integrated and embraced with intuition, we need a sanctuary, we need spaces that enable us to do that within ourselves and externally. And that's what we'll be looking at on Wednesday. We'll be looking at our sanctuary within and externally, what is working for us and what isn't, and what changes you might consider. So until Wednesday, have a lovely weekend and have a lovely week, and I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Lots of love. Bye.